guys, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. So today is Wednesday, September 1st. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. I'm sorry if there's any glare. I literally need to see, so sorry. Today is September 1st, which means it is the first day of Becca's Bookoplaton, and I'm stoked. Yeah. I had my best reading month of the year so far. Last month I read 12 books. I also just finished Assassin's Apprentice, which is a Becca book. So I'm just in a very Becca, amped up, Becca recommendation mood. I'm also watching the live show that she put up, was that a year ago? I'm very far behind to where they are. But yeah, so I'm watching that, but it's 1:55, and at 2 o'clock the dice sprints that Becca's hosting for, kicking off the readathon are going to be up, so I'm excited about that. The book that I am starting with, if you guys didn't watch my TBR, I'll leave it up in the cards and linked down below, but the book that I'm starting off with is From Bookoplaton with Love by Mariana Zapata. I have this that I bought on Kindle. I think it was like $4.99, so not bad at all. But I am so excited because I've been wanting to read this book for so long. Everyone loves it. I feel the cutting edge vibes from it, grumpy skater meets ice skater. I don't know that much about it, to be honest. I just heard a little bit about it and I was like, that sounds like one of my favorite movies. I want to read it. So yeah, we are gonna, I'm gonna not be able to finish this live show and make it to the new one on time, but I think I'm gonna watch the last couple minutes of this, and then we'll get started with Becca's Bookoplathon. Oh, forgot to mention, I'm considering doing what everyone else is doing and also doing the magical readathon, whatever, one of the two, alongside this. I haven't looked at the prompts in order to match them up. I need to do that. Haven't gotten the chance yet. So at some point in this vlog, you might see me re-going through my TBR with those added additions, just so you know. But yes, sorry. I will catch up with you guys once I've read some of From Bookoplaton with Love, and I can tell you more of a plot than that. So I'll see you then. Hey guys, so it's now 4:45, so we've been sprinting for less than 3 hours, but there's been good breaks between. But I am now 29% into From Bookoplaton with Love by Mariana Zapata, and now that I've read some, I can actually give you a synopsis, because I clearly had no idea what this is going to be about, because I said that the guy was a grumpy hockey player. No, he's a grumpy ice skater, but she's also an ice skater, so they're both ice skaters. So basically we're following our main character, Jasmine, who's 26, and in figure skating, they're all really young, so she's old, and she is seen as troublesome, and she's got a bad rep, and right now, when she was younger, she competed singles, then she moved up into pair skating, but then something happened with her last pair partner. We don't really know what happened, but now she's without a partner, and she's just training to train because she doesn't want to give up. And then she has this rival, not even a rival, what would you call it? So the family who owns the ice skating, I'm trying to explain it in the most unconvoluted way, but it's coming out way too confusing. So the family that owns the ice skating rink where she practices is the family of this guy, Ivan Lukov, who is the best pair skater, has won all these different championships for years and years and years. So they're enemies. That's basically a better way to do it. They're enemies, and they are literally horrible, and they bully each other back and forth, whatever. And then one day, Jasmine gets asked by Ivan's coach and Ivan if she will be, I don't know why I'm still holding this, if she will skate with him as a pair for a year, and then everything else that ensues is the book, okay? So we know this is a romance. We know this is going to be a hate to love romance. Enemies to lovers romance. Okay, I guess I could have just said that. But alas, this clip is 2 minutes long. So, yeah. So far, I'm feeling okay about it. I was really expecting to love it from the start. Don't love it from the start. But I've heard such great things about Mariana Zapata's writing. I feel like I just need to, like, slow down. Because I felt like some parts I just, like, was reading too fast to, like, care. Or to, like, let everything soak in. Because sometimes I feel like with romance, since it's not like the complex world building and everything of fantasy, like I just came off reading an adult fantasy book, I was just like reading so fast because it's just fluff, you know. It's not, there's not a lot to think about. I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm trashing romance, because I'm not, because I love reading romance, but you know what I mean, it's easier to digest, it's quicker to read. But I think need to let the character work happen so that way it has more of an effect. So I do think I should be reading it a little slower, so I think I'm going to try to do that moving forward. That is also something to do with sprints. Sometimes I feel like I do get a little ahead of myself and try to read faster. But yes, right now I have a horrible headache coming in and I don't want that. I'm going to go to my dad's for dinner because it was his birthday last week and I worked through his birthday and his birthday party, so I need to make it up for him, so I'm going today. But that wasn't supposed to, like, that's probably not going to happen, like the dinner portion, until 6, but since my head doesn't feel great, I really don't feel like reading like on another screen, so I think I'm going to head out soon, if not now, and then like maybe I'll wait and see if this Advil kicks in a little bit before I start driving, just because my head does hurt that bad, and it's a decent ride. It's not like too long, but it's a decent ride. But getting off topic, 29% into From Look Off with Love. I will potentially read more tonight, but I might be holding off for the rest of the day depending on how my head feels. But at the very least, I will pick this up tomorrow and I will update you when I get further in. Hello. It is, what day of the week is it? It's Thursday. It's the 2nd. I am now 2/3 of the way through From Look Off with Love. And to be honest, I had really high hopes for this book. Like, everyone and their mother gave it 5 stars, so I'm just like, but it started out kind of slow. I know it's like a slow burn romance, I got it, but I'm just like, I don't know, I wanted more. But let's just say the part that I'm at right now has my favorite trope in it, and I'm screaming, and I finally feel like, great. So yeah, basically inaudible noises. I'm sorry, I'm eating a Tic Tac and that's very rude, but I like, no one's here at my house right now and I needed to like, about this book, you know? So yeah, long story short, started off slow, now I'm obsessed. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go back to read, but that's all for now. It's 7 o'clock. I've been reading for like a couple hours straight and I'm obsessed, and yeah, great. I will catch up with you guys probably before I go to bed with more of an update and articulate thoughts, hopefully. But yeah, hey guys, so it's now Monday night. It's like 9:30. I'm winding down to go to bed, but I was horrible at vlogging this weekend, aka I didn't do anything. I blame that on me working the entire weekend. Sorry. And when I wasn't working, I was hanging out with my boyfriend, who I haven't seen in weeks because of COVID, so I apologize. But I did finish From Lukov with Love very late on Thursday, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars. I would have, okay, so where it didn't get a 5 from me is just that it took me a while to get into it. Like, I was really I don't know if it was just the hype, because I, like, literally everywhere I saw, like, loved this book, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, like, everything. So I had really high hopes. I don't know if it was that, or if it was, like, so slow burn that I was like, okay, I don't know. But I did end up giving it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed, like, the back half was great, amazing, all the feelings. I was screaming at the book at parts. I, like, was yelling at the main character for being such an idiot and oblivious. Like, it was everything. I think I'm gonna, like, on reread, love it even more. But anywho, that's what I read on Thursday, and then I didn't pick anything up all weekend. And then earlier today I picked up, oh, I don't have the dust jacket on it. Anywho, I picked up The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. So this is a YA speculative contemporary fiction. So it's in that, like, fantastical whimsy sort of genre. In this, we're following our main character. Why am I forgetting her name? It's because I'm reading 2 books at once. Our main character, Natalie, who ever since she was 5 or 6, has been visited by a Native American woman in her bedroom, like when she's asleep. Has woken up to this elderly Native American woman who calls herself the grandmother. And 3 times a year, she visits Natalie and tells her a story of creation and, like, how the earth was created. I don't really know. She tells her 3 stories. Some of them have to do with, like, creation. And then, because one had to do with something, like, people already existing. So I don't really, it's kind of confusing. But yeah, so Natalie, like, when she told her parents about grandmother coming, like, when she was 6, they were like, okay, why are you saying a strange woman is, you know, talking to you while you're sleeping, like, or, like, you know, you're waking up. And so she's been to, like, different psychologists and stuff. They've done therapy for her that is supposed to, you know, make this person go away. But we start off the book with grandmother coming to visit Natalie, and she says this is the last time that she is going to visit her, and she is giving her a mission, I guess, to save, what did they say, to save someone. I forget what her exact words are. To save someone, like, that she has 3 months to save this person, and that's all she says. And then things start happening, like, weird things that are similar to, like, how she sees grandmother. Similar things are happening that aren't used to be happening. But yeah, so it's interesting. I really love Emily Henry's speculative, like, contemporary YA fiction like this. Like, this is reminding me a lot of what I loved from, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it, A Million Junes. A Million Junes I loved. I think I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I can't remember, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that I love The Love That Split the World as much. But yeah, so I did end up getting to page 71 of this. I read a little bit this morning, and then I did another 30-minute sprint this evening. And then I went to hang out with my boyfriend again today because I was off work. So on the way there and on the way back, I listened to The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is not on my Bookoplaton TBR. Oh, I should mention, this is for the prompt of Who, which is, like, a book that you don't hear anyone talk about. Everyone always talks about beach read and people we go on vacation, people we meet on vacation. Never hear people talking about this book specifically, or in general, not a lot of people talk about her YA works. Sorry. Back to The Poet X. So I sort of picked that up on a whim just because I wanted an audiobook to listen to, and it's only 3.5 hours long, and my library had it available through Hoopla, so it's free to listen to. So between me going there and me coming back, I listened to an hour and 20 minutes worth, because I listened on 1.5 speed, and I'm really enjoying it. I hadn't picked this book up for a long time because find that it's hard for me to read books that are written in prose. Well, okay, take that back. I'm intimidated by books written in prose. I don't feel like I'm intelligent enough to read them, and also like I feel like with books written in prose, it's so much more like engaging, and like I feel like the messages and everything really hit harder when I'm listening to it, especially when I'm listening to the author who wrote it saying it to me. Which is why I really liked Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds when I listened to that on audio. And I listened to For Everyone as well by Jason Reynolds. But yeah, so I am loving the Poet X. I don't know why it took me so long to read this. This has been a book that's came out, what, 2018? And I've been hearing about it literally ever since. Everyone loves it. And honestly, I found myself, when I was listening to it, like just nodding along and saying like, yes, like, yes. And so this book is following our main character. I'm reading two contemporaries at the same time, and so it's hard to remember the names. Whose nickname we'll say is X, because her name starts with X. But it's like Zymira, something like that. I'm so sorry. I'll correct it later on, I promise. I just am having a hard time remembering it right now. But it's following our main character, who is a Latinx girl, teen. She is in her senior year of high school, I want to say. No, she's a sophomore. This one's a senior. See why I'm getting confused? She's a sophomore in high school, and it's all about her coming to grips with, you know, her questions about Christianity, and her coming from her mom being super like into the church and being very religious, and so her having to deal with her questions that she's asking about why she can't do this, why she can do this, and like why things happen the way that they happen with the church and like the rules and stuff. And then it's also with, you know, her starting to learn about what's going on with her body changes when she goes to puberty, and all of the things and the reactions that men have when you start looking a certain way once you come to a certain age, and just all of those things, and the disgusting things that men say to you as a woman and everything like that. And overall, it's just her talking about everything in her life. And so she's always written these poems, and now when she goes into an English class, her teacher tells her, puts up a thing about slam poetry, and then she's learning about slam poetry, and the whole book is, like I said, written in prose, and you get snippets of her poetry, the character. Yeah. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's really good, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to finish that this week as well. I don't know. I only have like a 12-minute commute to work, so it's kind of like I don't usually listen to audiobooks, because by the time I get into an audiobook, it's like time to go. You know what I mean? But maybe when I'm like cleaning or something, I'm looking at the laundry I have to put away. Maybe when I'm cleaning or something, I will listen to it. But these are my two current reads at the moment, and I'm enjoying both of them, so we're doing well here, even though I've only read one book for Becca's Bookoplathon, and it's been like almost a week. But I did read that, and that was like almost a 600-page book, so I'm gonna give myself some credit. And then I've read this much today, so I'm gonna stop because I've been talking for 10 minutes and been rambling on. And I will catch up with you guys when I've made progress in either and or both of these, okay? Hey guys, so it's now Friday morning. Please excuse the pajama shirt and the kind of crazy hair. It's 9:26 in the morning. But I never updated you guys last night when I finished The Love That's With the World by Emily Henry. And I really, really enjoyed this. I just think that Emily Henry excels in this sort of speculative fiction. It's like some people call light fantasy, magical realism, many different names for it. But I don't know, I just love her writing style and the whimsy and everything going along with it. So to sort of wrap up more of the plot now that I've since finished it, because I don't know how much I mentioned into it in the beginning, but we're following our main character, Natalie. She's adopted, and her birth mother is a Native American woman who lived on the reservation, but chose to give Natalie away in order to help her try to have a better life. So the story starts with Natalie getting a visit from grandmother, who is this elderly woman who visits a couple times a year, I want to say, and tells Natalie stories sort of creation and like how the world came to be. Some of these are First Nation stories, and some of these are other things, other stories. A lot of them are Native American stories of their histories, and different stories. And then the last time she sees grandmother says, you know, this is the last time I'm going to see you. You have 3 months to save him. Doesn't say who the him is. That's sort of one of the main mysteries of the plot, is who are we trying to save, you know? No, I did think it was quite obvious, but that's just me. But yeah. And so then grandmother disappears. She doesn't come back like she normally might. And so Natalie is just put into a tailspin of trying to find grandmother, figure out who grandmother is, and who is this man or boy or whoever that she's got to save. So yeah, it was just really good. I really enjoyed the different stories that grandmother was telling throughout this, and the imagery of this, and the different like metaphors. There's a lot of hidden meanings to what's happening, and you know, foreshadowing and stuff, and that was really interesting to read. My one thing was the end was so cryptic. Like, it could be read in 2 possible ways in my opinion. So I was like, which way is the way that I'm supposed to be reading it? Not that, I don't know, books are personal, so if you want to read them a different way, that's your that's your prerogative. So I actually looked up multiple reviews to try to see like an explanation of the end, to make sure like what I was thinking was what was happening, if that makes sense. You really, it's hard to explain without like spoiling it, so I'm trying to be vague. The end is not concrete. It's very like woo, like not explained, like just sort of like you have to infer what's happening, really. So yeah, that's my only thing. I was going between a 4 and a 4.5 stars. I think it's landing at a 4, but you never know. It might change. But there's also a beautiful romance in here. I did like the romance. It's not like my favorite romance of all time, but I liked it. It was good. It was good. The love interest was good. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. But book 2 of Bookoplaton is done. And now our next book is to read The Tourist Attraction, but I think I'm going to end this now, or I'm going to cut this out and continue through the weekend. We shall see. But if I'm ending this now, that means in the first almost 2 weeks of this readathon, I have read, or in the first like week and a half, I'd say, I've read 2 books: The Love That's With the World, which was 4 stars, and From Look Off With Love, which was 4.5 stars. and we're just off to a good start, and I hope this train continues through the rest of the readathon. And please let me know what you're reading for the Magical Readathon and Bookoplaton down below, and how your readathons are going. So if this is the end of the vlog, I'll see you guys in a new video hopefully soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!